Welcome back to the farm. I'm Caleb, and I'm now playing the Stanley Parable, or if you like to say it. And as you can see here, we have a computer screen, and look, it goes on infinitely. And as you can see right here, when I move my mouse, it moves right there. So it's really cool. I have to put it all the way. Oh, look, you can see the little recording thing. Not sure if it shows on. That's funny. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna begin the game. Okay, so I played the tutorial or the kind of like sneak peek of it last time. So now we're gonna play the actual thing and see what happens, see what's gonna go on. So here we go. We are loading. The end is never the end is never. The end is loading. Never. Nice. All right. So right now, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but we were a guy named Stanley, aka the Stanley Parable. And we were, I don't know what we were doing. We were trying to get out of an office somewhere. We had a guy narrator talking to us saying, hey, you should do this, you should do this. And, yeah, so we just kind of listened to everything he said. Yeah, it's kind of easy, kind of simple. But basically, I'll be doing this series. I don't know, I mean, I know I did a lot of scary games with Five Nights at Freddy's, some of Alien Isolation, Amnesia, which is really fun. Played the whole entire game of that. But this is different for me. So now this is kind of like...
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That's kind of different. Like
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
Like the guy from...
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I was happy. So why would you change that?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
No.
Something was very clearly wrong.
Stanley.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, it's a miracle. I can finally move. No orders. Hello? Oh. Maybe this is
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
My co-workers? Why are all the doors locked? Oh, it is. Remember that, it's very important. It's 11:25. I can time well. Okay, up. Alright, 4:15. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to the door on my right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, I want to admire that employee lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Coffee nut. Drinking it all in. Yeah. So I think it was interesting how he said, like...
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
First open door? No, I already not followed orders, so I'm not going to continue following orders.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh, well then. Jerk. I can do whatever I want. Like, I can jump off of this.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I wonder if
I
I'm gonna follow
realize that
directions
investing
now.
your trust in someone else can be difficult, but
Yeah.
the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Oh, has it?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Oh,
This
no.
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To
Oh,
put your work
mad at me.
aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Hello? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
What?
Who want to commit their life to you?
Oh,
I'm trying to make a
jerk.
point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on
I wonder
here.
what happens if we would follow the directions. Creepy.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Whoa. I don't want to press 8.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow.
Hey,
he has
screw
a
you.
job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Why?
Look at him there,
Oh,
pushing
jeez.
buttons, doing exactly what he's
Nay.
told to do. Now he's pushing a button.
No.
Now he's eating lunch.
No.
Now he's going home.
No.
Now
I'm not
he's
following
coming
you.
back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No. Dang it. I can't click anything
But in
else.
his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
No.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of
I don't know
wild
what's going on.
expeditions into the unknown.
I'm
Fantastic
fine.
discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
No. Stop
And
telling
so
me
he began to
stuff.
fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day
I just
while
wanna
at work,
get outta
he
here.
stepped up from his desk to
Wife,
realize that all
love
of his
me.
co-workers, his boss,
Why?
everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The
face of the
thought
earth.
excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
So he's like a type of GLaDOS, kind of, if you've ever seen, like...
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he
If you've
began
ever
to fill it
seen,
with many
like,
possible
or played
paths and
Portal,
destinations.
seems like a
Down
GLaDOS
one
type,
path lay an
just
enormous
toying with
round
me,
room
doing different
with
experiments.
monitors and mind controls.
Yeah, and mind
down
control.
another was a yellow line that weaved
I
in
don't
many
know what to
directions.
expect,
And down
really.
another was a game with a
Like,
baby.
maybe did I choose the
and he
wrong
called
twist?
it the
Or am I
Stanley
supposed to choose that?
Parable.
I don't know. So you gotta see. Oh, I gotta tell my kids.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and
I
so
don't
in
know
his
what
head
to,
he
like, I don't know
relived
what's
it
going on.
again, and then
I
again,
should be
and
listening, but
again,
I gotta talk to
over
you
and
guys.
over, wishing beyond hope that it would never
my wife
end,
is
that he
very
might always feel this free.
eyebrows.
Surely there's an answer down some new path,
Mm-hmm.
mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
No, well, I gotta tell my wife I love her for.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
What's going on?
In reality, all
is
he's
my desk,
doing is
427.
pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has
Yeah,
changed.
no, I'm just
The
saying,
longer he spends here, the
psychologically,
more
maybe.
invested he
'Cause like
gets,
says,
the more he
stuck in a work,
forgets which
pressing
life
buttons,
is the
but here I
real
am.
one.
Pressing buttons. Oh, time to go to
And
sleep.
I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly
guess
killing
that's it.
himself.
Oh, I'm
But he
killing
won't
myself.
listen to me.
Hate
He won't
Mondays.
stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Should I?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Don't kill me. Question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose. The
I'm
same
just
as
gonna
Stanley.
follow everything he doesn't say.
We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Do it.
Perhaps. Well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please.
And Stanley pushed a button.
No.
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button.
Not pushing any button.
And I
But okay.
all of his co-workers were
I
gone.
think I died.
What could it mean?
I think it restarted.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
That's
Perhaps
kind
he
of
had simply
interesting.
missed a memo.
It got kind of dark here, so it was super creepy. But I died, I think. So now we just gotta follow what the guy
When
says.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're doing stuff differently. See, this is better.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not
Feeling
getting
a
fired.
wave
Help
of
us.
disbelief,
Yeah, we
Stanley
will.
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright. Okay, so new set of strategies. Gonna follow whatever this guy says. Narrator, broom closet, nice. Say upstairs. Or
Coming to
downstairs?
a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now I wonder if I follow some but don't follow the other. Oh, boss has a nice office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Ah, of course, newly open passageway. Hello, light. What is this place? What is my boss hiding? Oh, snap. Going on an adventure, boys. Let's do this. Okay, so we gotten the dark side of this narrator person as I crack my knuckles. We don't know what the fun side is, but hey, I mean, yeah, I guess he has a fun side, joking around and stuff. So we're gonna go figure out what's going on and get this mystery
Descending
solved.
deeper into the building,
As to why my
Stanley
focus gone,
realized
if
he
I'm
felt
actually
a bit
exist.
peculiar.
What
It was a stirring of
is
emotion in his chest, as though he
that
felt more free to think
thing
for himself,
over there?
to
I
question
don't
the
know.
nature of his job.
But we're gonna follow.
Why did
so-
he feel this now, when for
We're gonna
years
solve
it
this.
had never occurred
Let's
to
keep
him?
on going, guys.
This
And
question
we
would
can
not
get
go unanswered for
let's go.
long.
Ooh, this is where the suspense happens. Like the horror.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You see, I wonder what happens if we just don't listen to him. Nah, let's just go to the mind control. We already did one where we didn't listen to him. I wonder if the same thing would happen. I don't know, probably. Let's click this button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Ah, what horrible
Did he
secret
have the
this place
strength to find out?
Let's go. I want to find out if my name isn't Stanley Parabola.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
747.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building,
Hey.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many
They're fired.
individuals reduced to images on a screen.
creepy.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I was trying to find 478 where I was. It's like over there. People.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe
78.
it
There it
couldn't
is.
be
That was
true.
for 78, right, guys?
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Got fired. 601. 104. I wonder what some of the, like, the error.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
This
it.
is
His own
interesting.
life in someone else's control?
Yeah.
Never. It
Never.
was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls
Click the
labeled with
buttons.
emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Yes.
For
cannot.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Let's do this, boys. Just not click this button. Okay, that's nice. Let's destroy this. Bing, bing, bing. That's a big screen. System power. Oh. Oh, I done it. Did it start over? Did I die again? I'm guessing. I guess I died. I don't know. Ooh, this is picking up.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Nope.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Can't move.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
It's okay. It's
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
It's okay.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Let's keep on going.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
I wonder if you get
Perhaps
to
his
go
goal
back. I doubt
had
it,
not
but
been to
that'd be cool.
understand, but to let go.
I just
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do,
jump.
or how to feel.
I like it.
Whatever
That's
life
nice.
he lives, it will be his.
Oh,
And that was all he needed to know.
yeah.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let me go. Let me go. Let me go.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
Ooh, I am
the
outside.
feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
That's if it's
This
all
was
just another
exactly the
simulation.
way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Simulation, science simulation.
And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I'm happy. Or am I? What? This is beat the game. What? Wait, what? I don't.
All
What?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
What?
decided to go
Wait,
to the
wait,
meeting
alright.
room. Perhaps
I
he
think
had
that's all the
simply
time we
missed
have
a
for
memo.
today. Tune in next week as I go back through this, I guess, and see what happens next on the Stanley Parables. Stay tuned, YouTube. Caleb, signing out.
We'll be right back.